The world is full of wonders.
Magic is hidden in small moments.
And monsters could be hiding just out of sight.
But if you're looking to find them,
adventure is waiting to happen.
You never know who you'll meet along the way.
We are the Storyteller Squad. Hello, adventurers! Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad. Thanks for joining us for more Monster of the Week. Before we begin, let's check in with those heroes.
As the song belovedly covered in Coming to America says, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. These kids are going to need so much help. You know what? This is a Raven problem. I'm sure she can deal with it. I'm Hugo Rashad.
I do believe that was my first official off-the-books mission. I don't need the agency. Better off without them. I don't miss them. Definitely not still going to write a debrief for court just in case we ever get back together. I'm Agent Whitaker, and I'm better off on my own.
Oh
oh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about the idea of boot camp with these sad magic teens. Let's do this. I'm Raven Eugenia.
Well, if we're staying with these kids, I know what I have to do. Howdy do, fellow kids. I'm Damien Edgecrest.
I kissed Mira on the Ferris wheel. I'm Felicity Starnbrook.
And I love my girlfriend.
What? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was watching this butterfly play tag with a frog. It was the cutest thing ever. I don't want to leave this haven. I'm Aiden Brightwood. Let's have an adventure. Last time, our heroes continued their fight against the massive trash demon at the Winnebago County Fair. Joined by the young heroes from Pecatonica, our hunters managed to destroy the rampaging construct and save the other teens who had been trapped within the monstrosity's enormous pocket dimension landfill. Unfortunately, while making this daring rescue attempt, Damien lost the anti-detection amulet that kept his presence obscured from the demonlords in the place apart. Aiden gave up her own amulet to maintain Damien's cover, and thanks to Mira, the hunters were able to send their angel friend into one of the folk havens, hoping to temporarily mask Aiden's presence while they come up with a plan. You are going to come up with a plan, right? The team left the fairgrounds and returned to Piper Maxwell's family farm, where they learned a little bit more about the origins of this trio of accidental Whispered members. Felicity and Mira got to smooch on top of a Ferris wheel after a heartfelt conversation, and that's where we left off. So, hunters, what do you do? And we can pick up a little laughter. We don't have to start right there. We can say it's the next day.
Yeah, I feel like if Hugo handed over that book, it kind of makes sense to leave them with it. Let that be their evening of browsing through, and then we can start fresh tomorrow. Maybe make a game plan and do a training session with these kids.
Sure. If you stay overnight on the Maxwell farm, just park the trailer somewhere behind the horse barn. You can wake up to the far off of someone else's rooster, because the Maxwells don't have chickens.
We did make sure to pick up Felicity from the fair, right?
I think Felicity and Mira had said they were going to spend the night in the haven.
All right, fair enough.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Quinn, but was that the plan?
That was the plan.
Based on that, did they go and get the medallion/amulet?
Yeah, before we end the day, we should check in with Mira.
Mira got a 9 on her attention check. So I think once Felicity fell asleep in the haven, Mira played her little magical fawn flute, stepped out, teleported to Granny Jones back in Autumn Falls, and then we see like a nighttime montage of her creeping around in her little delivery uniform and like humming the Mission Impossible theme to herself.
It's so anticlimactic to just find the amulet.
It's hours after when she's supposed to have gone to get it because, like, Rian said within an hour, and it's now 4 hours later, so it's the middle of the night. She like is creeping along, and then like at one point she sees a couple who are like even more goth than like Raven's Autumn Falls goth was. They're just like making out next to a tree in the graveyard.
Oh, so hardcore.
And so Mira will like do some little magic and like make a spooky shadow appear on the ground, and they get kind of spooked and like run away, and she like giggles, and then she'll like get up onto the stone wall and walk her way, just balancing act, hopping from headstone to headstone. And then she gets to like the front gate, and it creeps open, and she finds this little bronze Cupid's or like cherub's face as like a thing nailed or tacked into these pillars that form the front gate, and she can slide it aside. And there's a little empty pocket in the stone, and she takes an amulet out, does a twirl, snaps her fingers, and appears back in the haven next to Felicity. And then the night passes.
Amazing.
Damien, are you starting a crowing contest with the rooster across the street at the other farm?
I just pictured him on top of the trailer in vaguely a rooster shape, but still as a slime.
Still kind of slimy, yeah.
Yeah, Damien is just a slime, and the head is the rooster.
It's a little gurgly.
Ooh, I hated that. Okay.
Yeah.
Whitaker does his run.
You know what? Before Whitaker leaves for his run, Raven's going to get up and get dressed to go for a run. And she's going to suggest that we go grab the kids and make them run with us. It's boot camp day, baby.
Before we do that, Raven, there's something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, what's up?
Whitaker waits till they're sort of out of the trailer.
Sure. You guys can be walking from trailer over to like the house, I guess. Yeah. Max would have like gone to sleep in their room. They don't live in the barn. So like yeah, so as you make your way over from the trailer to the farmhouse, you can have this talk.
I'm trying to keep track of everyone as best I can, but that gets harder and harder every day, and I need to know if you've been seeing the same things I have and the same things Aiden has. Have you noticed something up with Hugo?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Now, what have you seen?
Out of character, I don't remember exactly what Raven knows.
From what I remember, Raven does know that Hugo lied or at least didn't tell the whole truth about remembering events.
Yep.
Raven is very aware that Hugo has forgotten things.
Yes.
That's most of what Raven's evidence is, yeah.
Okay. Just that his memory's been weird.
Yeah.
His memory's been weird, and he's lied about it being bad.
Okay, yeah.
With the Bogalog story, with the Echo Point story, like just there's been certain things that you guys have talked about, and Hugo's been like shifty about sharing details of what he recalls.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been having some issues with remembering specific events that we know he's been around for. And I don't want to say he's been lying to us, but he's definitely been avoiding answering certain questions when the subject comes up. So I've definitely been noticing. Why? What have you noticed?
Do you think he's hiding something?
He's definitely hiding something, but I can't get a read on what it is or the scale of it. If it's just he's having problems with his memory and he's trying to downplay how bad it is, or if there's something else going on.
Yeah, that about lines up with what I've seen as well. I'm going to talk to him later about it. Thank you, I needed a third opinion.
Yeah, of course. I think it'd be good if you talk to him. He might open up if it's just one of us. I don't want to like ambush him or anything. It's clearly something going on, and I don't want to just like attack him and force him to close us off and not tell us.
Well, he's had plenty of opportunity to tell us anything.
It's true.
Maybe what he needs is an ambush.
Meep, meep. A truck is pulling up the driveway, Whitaker and Raven, as you guys are like crossing it to get to the front porch of the house. Just pulls up on the gravel driveway. The window rolls down. And there's an old, tan, leathery skinned looking gentleman, a little bit of white scruff around his beard, in just like a worn plaid work shirt. And he's got one hand on the wheel and one hand below where you can see it. And he just says, "Hi, who are you? What are you doing on my property?"
Sorry to bother you, sir. We were just checking in with, Miss Piper Maxwell.
How do you know Pipes?
We met very briefly at the explosion at the fair last night, and we came to check in to make sure she was okay.
There was a what at the fair last night?
Oh, some grease fire. One of the, from what we can tell, one of the popcorn machines caught ablaze, and there was a small explosion. We don't think anyone was majorly injured, but Piper was on the scene, so we just thought we'd check in.
Roll manipulate someone.
Raven, get ready to help out.
I was about to roll up being like, we're friends with Piper.
Yeah, me.
We're coming to hang out.
A 60-year-old man.
I know.
I am your daughter's friend.
I'm glad you spoke first, because I would have just led with that.
Yes, one of those creepy friends from the internet.
I know,
Oh,
I was
no.
gonna say, we met on the internet, man. I'm so glad you spoke first. I was about to ruin all of that.
I'm not glad I spoke first. It's a 6. I need you to help the fuck out.
You can help bump that to a mix.
Let's try it. That's an 8. I almost rolled double ones, and one dice was like spinning and then landed on a 6. That was so dramatic.
All right. So you have a mix. It still bumps Emery to also a mix.
It ain't great out here, folks.
What do you say, Raven, as you try to help ease the pressure of this awkward social interaction?
I feel like Raven does this all the time. She's gonna try and like make sure her hands are out of her pockets and try and like stand really casually and just be super not threatening body language. And then just kind of conversationally be like, yeah, Piper and I got to chatting yesterday. We met at the fair. And so we just really wanted to make sure that she was all right. I know she wasn't super close to where the fire happened, but a lot of people in town kind of freaked out, even though it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, everyone's talking about the explosion, and like, it wasn't really an explosion. And she's just going to try and like
just keep going.
Ramble in a conversational, kind of relaxed way.
Yep. Okay. You see, he pulls the truck over to what looks like it's like usual parking spot where like some of the grass is dead in the yard. Gets out. He's got like a thermos and a lunchbox and just like work boots and some overalls on. And he is nodding. He's taking in your story. Whitaker, you still only have a mix. What is the thing you say to convince Mr. Maxwell that this is a legit encounter?
Whitaker takes out his agency badge and just sort of flashes it in the direction. This is just an official inquiry. We can leave as soon as we're done here.
All right.
I don't know if that was the right thing.
Raven is exposed to trouble or danger because of her mix on Help Out. So I think you certainly have convinced him that you should be allowed to speak to Piper, but he looks on edge now for a different reason. And as you walk towards the house, he's kind of like muttering to himself, God, Piper, what are you getting yourself mixed up into now? I cannot afford bail again. Jesus Christ. And opens the door to their like mudroom, gets in, kicks his boots off. I'll go wake her up. You can come into the dining room if you want, or I'll send her out here. And he sets his thermos and like the lunchbox down on the kitchen counter and goes into the house. And you can see it's a simply decorated kitchen. The chairs at the dining table don't match. There's a bunch of eclectic fridge magnets that have flyers. One's for the fair, actually. Others are for like picnics and community church days and whatnot in Pecatonica. There are quite a few statues of like bison and horses around, either bronze or wooden or paintings up on the wall. This guy has like a thing for Western or like Midwest nature, it seems. A few minutes go by. The bleary-eyed form of Piper comes into the kitchen, bangs even more in the face, but then other hair are just like crazily out to the side. She's got simple flannel pajamas that have Illinois College logo on them. So they're orange and I think blue are the state colors. And just like a black tank top on. Probably looks like the pajama pants are like an old pair of someone who was older than her. Then they have like a drawstring sewn into them, so they fit her instead. And she says, hey, gosh, I didn't think we'd be getting up this early. Was something the matter?
Just checking in, Miss Maxwell. If you wouldn't mind stepping outside with us for a little bit. You're not in trouble.
Yeah, sure. Oh gosh, sorry about my grandpa. That's super embarrassing. He works overnights at the factory. We just gotta be quiet. I don't want to get grounded again. She'll take some like instant coffee crystals, put them in a cup, and then like take some cold water and mix that in. Then just follow you outside.
Would you like some real coffee?
What? This is coffee?
Whitaker purses his lips and says nothing more.
Yeah, like we've got like a coffee maker in the camper. If you want some, we're gonna...
Coffee's not important.
All right, well, we were here to pick you up to start training. I know it's pretty early, but we like to get serious, and we were gonna go for a run.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, thank you. Ken's and I were just up super late reading that book you gave us. I'll go get her. And so she heads in the house. 10, 15 minutes go by. She comes down. She's got like some sport shorts on. Mackenzie is in like a black faux silk robe. Still all of her rings and bracelets on her fingers. Her hair is like wrapped up in a towel. She yawns and I don't think she has coffee. She might have a glass of water and be sipping that.
She seems like an herbal tea kind of girl.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have time to make that just yet. But she says, "Good morning. Max said you were going to go for a run."
Among other things.
Cool.
We can't stay in town for very long, so if we're going to teach you to be monster hunters, can't give you the full lesson, but we can give you the cliff notes, which means we're starting as early as possible.
Great. I'll see you when you get back. And she turns around and goes into the house.
Fair.
Max is like, I can't. All right. She doesn't do.
Yeah, I know 2 different agencies she would have failed the entrance exam at.
It takes some getting used to. I don't blame her.
What about Buck? Is he still around?
He went home pretty much after we stopped talking last night. I could call him. He probably won't get here for a run if you guys want to do that right away, but he'll meet us here if I tell him it's important.
That's alright, yeah. As long as he's here for the actual meat of the training, that should be good.
Sure, yeah. I'll give him a text, but we can go. Did you want to like run the field? She'll point across the property and there's like a row of evergreen trees that sort of demark the yard of the place and then like cornfields beyond.
Wherever we can get a good mile in.
Yeah, I don't know the exact acreage, but I used to take our old dog for walks around the field, so it's a ways.
Let's do it.
Okay. Were there specific questions you were going to ask Max while running, or was this just, you just want to get them started?
That was just to get the heart rate going.
Okay.
We can cut to after the run.
We can do some great Foley work of everybody panting really hard while trying to ask important questions.
We can check in with some other hunters. Hugo, Damien, you guys are back at the trailer, I guess.
Hey, Hugo, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. I've been trying to keep track of everyone, and it's not easy as you can imagine. So I need to know if you've noticed the same things I've noticed about Whitaker. He's getting older, taking a lot of hits. I think we should try to protect him and keep him in the back and, more range than up close and personal.
He has guns. He has some amount of really nice suit armor, which is pretty significant for him. But yeah, he's been having trouble. Wasn't he on the ground for a long time? Like, I don't know what hit him, but at one point I looked where you guys were all fighting. He was just laid out. It might be because of all the EC agency stuff that was going on.
Oh, this hurts.
But,
this hurts. This hurts so bad.
Yeah, Whitaker's been having a rough go of it. I'm going to try to keep a closer eye on him and try to keep him out of danger.
My brother in Christ, you're the one that took my vitality, Damien.
How about you, Hugo? Are you doing any karate training or magic training? Anything exciting?
So, as you're saying that, Hugo's actually zipping around kind of back and forth, doing a lot of bookbinding. He has like 5 or 6 notebooks, composition notebooks, and he's just going back and forth, tearing through pages of it, adding in other pages, referencing some other books that he has and copying down notes into it. And he just pauses slightly, turns his head towards you, and then he just tosses his hands at what he's doing. Kinda.
Yeah, I guess working out your brain counts.
Look, these kids are going to need a lot more information than we can give them. So, if we can give them something that's going to last a little bit longer, I say why not? You've seen Felicity.
Yeah, I've seen Felicity. I got banished. These kids need to learn magic the right way. Or, hear me out, not at all. Yeah, let's keep them away from it.
Keeping them away from it, they're going to find out ways no matter what we do. It's less a matter of trying to keep people away from stuff and more a matter of making sure they're properly educated on how to deal with it.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I could be entirely wrong, though. Who knows?
Ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling. Hugo, your phone is ringing.
Hold on, Damien. Picks it up.
It's Rianne. Hey, Hugo, I just went by the graveyard to check this morning. Amulet's gone, so I'm assuming your contact came by.
Oh, jeez. I'm going to assume so, too. I have yet to speak to them, but... I think I have some more calls to make. Thanks again for that.
Yeah, anytime, man. I mean, listen, I'm running kind of low on the stuff I need to do that blessing, so that might be it for a while.
Anything I can pick up for you while I'm out?
From Illinois? I mean, nah, man, I'm good.
I'll probably be in more places than just Illinois, honestly.
Oh, well, if you get to New York and you can get me some tap water, actually, that would be... I never get out there enough, so yeah.
New York specifically, not New Jersey. New York tap water.
Yeah, New York tap water. It's good stuff.
That's why their bagels are so good.
Sure, you don't want to just get you the Rhode Island stuff? It kind of works the same, right?
No, it's not at all.
It's got to
Nope.
be... Okay.
I mean, if you go to Rhode Island, I take some Rhode Island water too, but like it's not quite the same.
I'll make a list. I'll do what I can. Does it have to be like tap water from any particular faucets or...
As long as it's been in the plumbing system of the city, then we're good.
I don't know if good's the right word there, but okay. Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
All right, thanks, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Catch you soon.
Hugo, I realize I should find something good and productive to do. To assist with, and Damien gestures towards your research. He gestures outside to where people are training. I want to help with training these kids, but I don't know how I fit in.
What do you mean?
You've got your research, you guys have karate, you guys have magic and agent training you can teach them. So do I even stick around?
You have firsthand knowledge of eons of stuff that none of us have any idea how it actually works. You have firsthand knowledge of not only how to fight demons, but what it means to be a demon. You are quite possibly the greatest, most important resource, depending on what we want to teach them.
Well, thank you. That's a good point.
Don't let it get to your head. If you could teach anyone anything, what would you want to teach them?
I'd teach them how to summon me back faster.
Okay. So as weird as it sounds, we should make sure that if they are going to be messing with stuff, that they know how summoning works. They know the cautions to take when summoning. They know what can go wrong. Who knows? Maybe they're going to have to save your life one day.
Oof, I hope it doesn't get that bad.
Oh, it'll get that bad.
Okay. I'll write some stuff down. Slide me over some paper.
Slides over an entire extra binder.
Oh, I don't know that I need that much. I'm not working that hard. Actually, maybe outside might be a better place for my big knowledge of demons. Or I could write it down.
Did you still have phone calls you wanted to make, Hugo?
At the moment, no, because I don't know if Hugo knows how to contact people that might be elsewhere.
So Unless there's more you guys wanted to talk about as you write these manuals, quick start guides to whispered membership.
Actually, he will shoot it. He will oddly enough shoot a text to Felicity.
Okay.
Just asking, did everything go okay? Are you guys good?
We will cut away then and reappear in the haven. Felicity, you wake up to the sound of a light breeze rustling leaves and grasses, and the moment you open your eyes, a small flower sprouts out of the ground and blooms in front of you.
Wow. Good morning.
Good morning, Felicity. How are you? Did you sleep okay?
I slept great. I slept better than if I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning and went on a run.
Wow, I would think so.
How are you?
I'm good. I do have a delivery to make, but I figured I would wait and we could go together.
I would love to go somewhere with you. Where are we going?
Well, wherever your friends went after we said good evening, because, and she dangles the little amulet that she went and collected. I think your friend needs this.
Felicity will check her phone, I guess, and see if she can figure out where everyone was going.
You don't have any messages on your phone right now.
I have no idea where they are.
Well, I think we can find them once we get back to normal. And she does air quotes around the word normal.
Aiden's here with us too, right?
Yeah, she's just over there.
Aiden!
Mira points. You can see at the edge of this haven pocket where that wall of light shimmers and creates like a barrier where beyond it everything looks blurry and out of focus. Aiden is sort of just standing there, running her hand along it, but also looking off into the piece of the haven that you guys are in. And when you call her name, she turns and gives you a little wave. She also looks rested and pretty at peace right now.
Ready to go back?
Yeah, I suppose we have to, right?
Usually, yeah.
Thanks for letting me come here. It's amazing.
Is it like you remembered?
It's better.
It's better? What?
This time you were here too.
Let's go.
Mira stands up and her little like fawn whistle transforms a bit to become this little like conductor's whistle around her neck, and she just blows on it once or twice. All aboard the Mira Jones Express.
Oh, this is so cute. What the fuck?
Gestures and the opening in the haven appears, and you guys can step out into the portion of the fairgrounds you were in when you originally entered.
So there's our answer. We can only go back to where we started.
Yeah, I'm choosing to make it that. I think that was my original idea, and I think it makes sense that because these are pieces, they only exist so far.
It makes sense.
But your phone does get several texts. You get a couple from Raven saying like, hey, we're going to Max's place. And then you get another text of like, good morning, haven't heard from you, hope you're okay. And then bling, and you get a text from Hugo like, did Mira get the amulet? Your phone blows up for a minute.
All right. I want to make 2 phone calls.
Okay.
First one, Raven.
So Raven, you're on the run. You're whipping past a field.
Oh, I imagine we're done with the run by the time Felicity wakes up and calls.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. It's probably like 8 o'clock at least.
We're sipping coffee outside the camper waiting for Buck to show up at that point.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you get a call from Felicity.
She answers right away.
Hello.
Hello.
We had the greatest night ever. It was amazing. Where are you guys though?
I texted you. We're at Max's farmhouse.
I need an address because I don't know where that is.
I'll send you the location.
Is Mira on the phone?
Is Mira there?
Yeah, here you go.
Raven's just gonna hand her phone to Whitaker.
I said have her back by midnight.
Well, yes. You didn't say what day.
You didn't say where either.
Can you blame me? I mean, she's so cute when she's asleep.
I am. That's right.
All right, fair enough. As long as you get her here soon.
I did get your fancy necklace.
I need the necklace by today, if that's any clearer for you.
Sure, we'll see you soon.
He hands the phone back to Raven. That was good.
Raven takes the phone back and just kind of says into it, like, all right, I'll send you the dress. See you soon. Bye. And then hangs up.
Bye.
Hugo's going to quickly shout out of the trailer. They don't have to go bring it to us. They just have to give it to Aiden.
Raven will send the address of where they are and then also say, give the amulet to Aiden before you leave the Haven. That is the text.
But we already left the Haven.
You can see Aiden is like putting the necklace on. It's fine.
Because Aiden knew that she needed to have it on. Yeah. Okay, we're good.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I honestly think it's fair to say that she was a little distracted until she got back to the real world.
That's fair.
And as you guys had stepped out of that portal, Felicity, her shoulders droop a little bit. And she takes kind of a deep breath to like center herself. And then a familiar focused intensity returns to her face. And she goes to Mira and says, I need that amulet right now. And Mira will hand it over. Oh, yeah, of course. It's for you then? Yeah, thank you. And she'll snatch it and quickly put it around her neck. Right, well, I don't know if it's tip upon delivery or if I should ask Mr. Whittaker or... Aiden is just like, I'll buy you an ice cream. Let's go. You can make it to the farm. There isn't really Uber and Lyft in Pecatonica, so you might have to hitch a ride or you can just walk it.
2 out of 3 of them can teleport, and Mira can teleport to Whittaker.
That's true. It's up to you, Felicity. You want to take a walk or do you want to teleport?
Teleport!
Raven sends the address and Mira just shows up.
Yeah. So you send the address, and as soon as it bling on Felicity's phone, Mira grins and puts a hand on Felicity's shoulder and offers a hand to Aiden, and they and vanish in a blink of green and then reappear. Felicity and Aiden stumble forward, and Mira just spins around like on her heels or her hooves, but she twirls around and then just stands like a bellhop in front of Whittaker with her hand out.
Beautiful.
I suppose this delivery was a little more timely.
What do you tip the Fae with? They don't want money.
Mira, what would you like? What would you like, and I'll consider it.
Well, she looks you up and down. Now, I don't want to ask too much. She reaches for you, Whittaker, and takes like a strand of hair on your head. Doesn't pluck it, but she just says, this has a lovely color to it.
Is it one of the grey ones or one of the not grey ones?
It's one of your red hairs.
Mira, I've only got so many of those left.
All right, I don't want to overstep. It's fine. But then she looks at you with these big, pouty fawn eyes. Her little button nose and her freckles.
Fine. Yeah, whatever. Take it.
Blink. And she pulls the hair out and puts it in her pocket. I'm sure it will come in handy at some point.
Yeah, that's what scares me. All right, well, I'll call upon you when I need you again.
Wonderful. Well, I should get back and make breakfast to Granny. It's good to see you, my dear. And she gives you one more kiss on the cheek, Felicity.
It's always good to see you.
I'm never far. Tips her little delivery hat and vanishes.
Adorable.
She's so cool. Well, welcome back.
Hi!
Hello.
So how was your evening?
It was amazing.
Yeah, Aiden. How was the Haven?
It was really nice. I'm never going to forget that.
We'll see if we can get you back there a couple times. When things aren't dire.
Mm-hmm. Max has a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios or something. And just like, you guys are a cute couple.
Wait.
To Felicity to Felicity.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, she's pretty great, isn't she? Sorry, we kissed on top of the Ferris wheel, and I'm just feeling a little floaty right now.
I knew the Ferris wheel was a good idea.
Like a knife. Always like a knife in the hearts of us and the listeners today.
between my third and fourth rib.
A beautiful, beautiful knife.
This is only tangentially related, but Hugo, can Whitaker see the pile of notes that you are compiling?
So not only is it a pile of notes at this point, it looks more like a book. A book with a very, very prominent cover. It's almost rivaling the book that was given to the group earlier, but it's nowhere near that full yet. But it has a lot of blank pages.
Is that for the kids?
Should they want it, yeah.
I might have something you can throw in there.
Okay.
Mackenzie is sitting at one of the outdoor picnic tables, and she says, I'd like to read it.
It's not just for reading.
She looks at you with attention, nods.
If you're taking this on, you're going to have to write in it too.
Yeah, sure. Write about what exactly?
Whatever you can. Whatever you experience, whatever you learn, whatever you think is important. Even some stuff that you think might not be important.
Yeah, if I have to do homework, you guys have to do homework too.
Piper chimes in. Gens is a pretty good artist. Could she draw in it?
So here's the funny thing. Historically, there is a devastating lack of proper pictorial references for things. You'd be doing one of the greatest services possible.
Mackenzie looks at her tattoo, and you can see anytime the robe slips from her forearms because it's loose fitting, you still can't see how far the vines and other glyphs and shapes go, but they're all the way up past her elbow at least. And she says, I think I know what I'm going to start with.
You also have to understand that this book is your book. As such, you will need to make it your book.
Our group or mine?
Yours specifically.
What do I have to do?
Usually the same thing that people do for most books. Sign it.
She will stand up and walk over to you, Hugo, and takes the book, runs her hand along the spine. She sees a bit of like glue that's come up a little bit, and she kind of thumbs that down. Did you make this today?
Possibly. I made part of it. It's not done yet until you actually make it yours.
Does it say anything on the cover, Hugo?
It says nothing on the cover. And if she opens up the first page of it, there's a sigil with a line on it to write something.
She will ask you for a pen, and when you offer one, she takes it and signs her name. And she has very nice penmanship. Her signature, Mackenzie, has a bunch of flourishes in it. She even puts a little leaf as the dot to the I.
And it will glow a little bit, takes a few moments, and then the writing fades away.
All of it?
All of that stuff, at least.
She looks up at you, a little concerned. Did I just mess that up? I'm sorry, what?
You made it yours. Some of those pages actually had lines on them. I don't know where the lines went. I think that's a you thing, so...
I tend to prefer more freeform journals. I use a moleskin, so...
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna trust you on that one. Oh, also, hold on a second. And Hugo's gonna take out his phone, and he's going to open up the whispered group chat, type a message into it. Don't panic, trust me on this one. And then he's going to ask her for information to add her to the group chat.
Okay. You say don't panic, and before Mackenzie can even offer you your information, you get a text from Haru that's just 5 exclamation points and dude, period. You get a text from Noriko that's just a gif of the concern react. And when you add Mackenzie to the chat, you add her number in, your phone rings, Hugo.
And he lets it ring a little bit, and then he's going to answer it.
Hugo, what the hell are you doing? And it's Rhea.
I'm fixing things.
Who did you just add to our secret chat?
Someone who, unfortunately for them, has been forced into this lifestyle, and who I would rather not have sacrificed to the wolves and the dogs.
She just gives a long, familiar sigh.
Oh, good, you've been practicing.
I learned from the best. Fine. You better be right about this one.
Oh, I could be entirely wrong about this.
She
one.
hangs up before you get to finish your sentence.
Dang. Oh, well.
Mackenzie kind of gives you a raised eyebrow. Is that your girlfriend or something?
Far from it.
She sounded angry. She's not going to come after me, right?
So here's a funny thing you're going to learn very quickly. They are all angry. They definitely have ferocity to them. And if I'm lucky, and they decide to not get too angry, there's a lot of stuff that you can learn.
Well, that's all I want to do. This stuff is scary for sure, but I figure the more I understand about it, the less danger we'll be in.
That's fair.
And Piper nudges you, Raven, with like a mouthful of cereal. She's so smart. She's like the smartest one in the whole group. She read that whole book last night. I made it through a chapter and got sleepy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
She read the whole thing last night?
Yeah, she's so fast.
Oh my God.
I have like a comprehension thing. I have to like read something over and over before I like get it. But like, oh my God.
I get that.
Hugo, I needed something clarified. This book that you gave Mackenzie, what is it intended to do?
At the moment, it has no function beyond being a source of knowledge and for documentation. However, depending on what stuff has been written in it, in my head, it's a wizard spellbook without being a wizard spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best way to describe it.
Is that a feature on the Spellslinger's sheet?
No. I was thinking more initiate stuff.
Okay. There is a move from the Crooked called Artifact, and you get to pick an artifact with handy powers. And one of those is Grimoire. Studying the book gives you +1 forward to use magic.
Okay, that can be a thing.
So there's that. But let me glance at Initiate real quick.
There's specifically a thing about a book that has like lore and information and that kind of stuff. Historical knowledge, all that jazz.
Yeah, as being part of the group.
Yeah. There's specifically an ability that has to do with going and referencing books.
Mm-hmm. There's also a move which Piper actively has called Haven, which is a move the expert gets. And they have a lore library, but I don't think they have a mystical library yet. So I could say that this is what you are able to contribute to the group.
I'm on board.
Okay, cool. And at this point, you all hear alt rock or something playing on a car radio, and a old-looking. It's a 4-door sedan. It's probably a Ford or a Chevy, given that we're in the Heartland.
And it's old.
And it's old, yes. So it's square and boxy. Pulls up into the driveway. Buck gets out. He's got his Letterman jacket on and gives you all a solemn acknowledgement and walks over.
Thanks for coming. I'm really glad you made it today.
Well, I don't trust you around my friends, so I'm here until you leave.
I respect that.
You're gonna have to trust us a little bit around your friends.
I went home last night, didn't I?
You want to know what you can trust?
Yeah, he looks at you, Felicity.
I kissed somebody on top of the Ferris wheel.
Congrats.
Why do I picture Felicity's kind of off to the side, just like spinning circles in the grass, not part of the conversation, just like, wee.
Yes.
She's shouting it to the void.
Miss Starnbrook, that is unrelated to the mission at hand.
It feels very related to me.
Miss Starnbrook, if you are not going to help these teens train, you can go write in your diary about that somewhere else.
Okay, bye! Felicity frolics off into the field, and she skips around for a little while and is picking some wildflowers.
What do you guys do? You got the whole Curious crew here. They are invested in different ways in what you have intended for them.
So are we kind of out in the middle of nowhere? Like if we are just near the house far enough away that we won't make enough noise, but if we're doing like combat training near the trailer, there's not like cars driving by or anything, right? Or should we move?
The house is off a road. It's not a busy road. It's like very old, cracked asphalt. Like it was paved once and hasn't really been redone in a long time. It's a big property. There's the barn. There's 2 pens where the horses will graze. And like I said, there's sort of like a half orchard, but also like evergreen space that separates yard from farmland.
I want to do some combat training with these kids.
Let's do it.
Should we head back towards the fields? I want to be away from the house and also away from the horses because I don't want to spook them.
Yeah, because we will be a bit loud.
Yeah.
So we can like set up some fucking hay bales for them to shoot at. is my sort of the visual that I'm looking for. Some fence posts that we can like put cans on top of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My vague game plan is let them each kind of show us what they can do and then maybe do some like one-on-one training, maybe a little bit of hand-to-hand combat just to give them some basics.
Sure.
Let them show off first and then we can kind of supplement and be like, it looks like you don't know how to do this kind of thing. Let's give you some advice.
Mm-hmm.
Whitaker has a slightly different way to start this, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. I just made that up now, so I'm open to suggestions.
Whitaker, do you and Raven want to confer on your plan?
Ooh. Whitaker has things he can train, but Raven has the most experience teaching children to fight.
Yep.
Just another day at the dojo, Miss Eugenia.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to give these kids basic self-defense stuff. I don't want them to rely completely on their magic.
Cool. Okay, so there is a basic self-defense thing, a showcase what you can do already, and then, Whitaker, you have something else?
I want to start this not just by assessing what each individual can do, but I want to know what the group cohesion is.
Do we want to have like a mock fight and see how they work together against something? Because I have been very excited about this. I keep thinking that maybe I could try to summon something and tell the spirit, whatever I get, be like, don't be lethal, but like fight these kids in like a training kind of way. I mean, we'll have to see how it goes, but that's an idea that I've had. Because that's kind of what we did. We did like a training session with all of us one time. I think I summoned like a mountain lion or something like that.
Yep.
So.
We will do that.
Yeah, I can turn into shifters and monsters, and we can have a nice friendly sparring match where I don't hurt anybody too bad.
Yeah.
The last time you trained, you also had Felicity creating like environmental hazards. So that could be a thing that they work on.
Let's start by just showing them the stakes. Damien, give them a threat.
Damien begins approaching the teens as he pulls Damocles out of inside of himself.
Are you just a person? Or are you a goop? You're just a person with a sword?
You're just a goop with the sword?
He's beginning to goop more as his lower extremity becomes smaller and his upper torso gets bigger and bigger, and the sword is dragging on the ground, and he's not charging fast. You've got to give them some time to react, but he is growing and getting more menacing looking as he stomps and slides toward them.
I do want to preface that we told them what was going on first.
We didn't just...
Like we sat down with them. I was like, this is what the plan is. We're gonna run through some training exercises.
And oh god, what's that?
He's not going to hurt you. Like, I just wanted to put that out there that has been established with them.
Yeah, I think you give him a minute to like put on his makeshift armor. Mackenzie gets out of her robe and puts on just like a t-shirt and some shorts.
Yeah, everyone gets set. We meet out in the field.
So we've got Damien approaching slowly. Whitaker is going to walk up to Piper, cross his arms, look down at them and say, "All right, Miss Maxwell, what would Kenzie do in this situation? You've got a threat approaching. You don't know what it can do. What would Buck do?"
Well, Ken's is usually our first line of defense. She's got a lot of control over plants, and we're out in the open in nature, so probably we grow the grass or something. And Buck's our heavy hitter, so then he'd go after it.
Whitaker nods approvingly and then leans back to Buck. "All right, Buck, what would Piper do in this situation?"
Probably get herself in trouble. And then figure it out, and generally she solves the damn thing. Tells me where to hit it.
"All right, Buck. I don't know if it's your attitude, or if you're just being smart with me, or if you genuinely don't know. It's one thing to know your limits and your capabilities in a situation. It's another thing to know exactly what your team is doing at all times, and to know where they can be, and to know how you can protect them. Piper, you seem to have a pretty good read on the others, but that's something you gotta be aware of. Kens, what would Piper do in this situation?"
Piper's usually quoting some article or book she looked into recently. A lot of the time, it's something off the grimoire. And she glances at Raven briefly.
"All right, so Piper's prepped for this."
Yeah, she's constantly researching stuff about monsters and cryptids. I mean, don't get me wrong, I read a lot too, but mostly I've had my eyes on magic. But Max, she's always the one with the plan.
All right.
That's a little Easter egg for people who know that Piper is an expert.
Nice. Now that you know what each other's doing, let's see what you can do. Cue fight montage.
You step away, Whitaker, and we see the trio of teens. Piper pulls their dagger out of the sheath. They've just got it slung on a little loose belt around their waist. And dark shadows wreathe them and fill out the feathered cape with the raven mask that appears in one hand. They put that on. Buck pulls his axe out, and it begins to vibrate. He starts to strafe. He literally takes off with a football player's stamina and speed and just runs, circling Damien, not directly at you, but to come at you from the side. And Ken's digs her hands into the ground. You can see she winces a little bit at having to do this because she's got her nice long manicured nails. And she will try and use magic to trap a monster. She gets a 7. I'm gonna say the effect is short duration. Damien, as you approach in your big hulking gloop form with the sword out, the sword that you've been dragging in the ground catches and actually pulls out of your hand. As you see the grass, it's gonna be hay. It hasn't quite grown and been cut and dried into hay yet, but it just wraps around the blade and tamps it down onto the ground. And then you start to feel it grow more and grab at your legs. It can't really restrain you, but it's definitely slowing you down. It's less vines and just suddenly now where the grass was 6 inches tall, it's 3 feet tall. And you're being forced to stumble through it. This feels weird. I'm gonna need you guys to shout instruction or something, or it's just gonna be me narrating 3 NPCs fighting Damien for the next hour.
We did joke that this part could be a montage.
Yeah, I think that works.
So I feel like if they each got to do one move,
sure.
I feel like we can kind of montage the rest.
All right, yeah, we'll rapid fire a kick some ass for Buck.
Yeah.
That's an 11 on the die. He runs up to you, Damien, with his axe, sort of with that murmuring hum to it. His axe does, I think it's 3 harm.
3 harm is fine. Can I take the axe from him?
Ooh, you want to try and disarm him?
I'd like to take the hit from the axe and then just absorb it into the pocket dimension so he has to fight me without his fancy tool.
He's kicking ass on technically a monster, which means you could harm him back. Roll kick some ass yourself, because there is an option for they drop something as the bonus.
We did establish this as a non-lethal fight, so I wonder if we could pull back on the harm we're trying to put on other people.
We've established that Damien is not harming them. Buck might not have the same plans in mind.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm sure Buck is gonna try and hurt. I'm saying if the only option is to harm back, he could maybe bump that down.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do not blame Buck.
What was your roll?
Total of 12.
Oh, fuck.
Total of 12. Yeah, you absolutely can wrench the axe out of his hand and kind of throw him in an arc over yourself so he lands on the grass also.
Damn.
Let's see. What can Max do?
Something cool, I hope.
You see Max do a 2 fingers in the mouth whistle, and a little white bolt shoots out of the loft of the barn and whizzes over to them. And we see the little ghostly wind-like spirit of Flurry, the little white ermine. You hear from behind Piper's mask, "Can I get a lift?" And the ermine turns into a little whirlwind. Max rises up on this air current, throws out the cape, and begins to glide around Damien and call out instructions to Mackenzie and Buck.
Whitaker is also shouting out instructions to Damien, all right, give him something with more speed and less surface area. They're just Pokemon battling each other.
Love that. The Curious Crew and Damien, you guys duke it out for a little while. Felicity, what are you doing on the farm?
I am frolicking and playing with Ghosty and Tom, and I'm just having the best day of my life.
I love it. Honestly, you should change your Zoom nickname away from FelicitySad.jpg.
Probably.
You finally earned it.
Yeah.
To quote Elf, one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of all time, I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it.
Okay.
That's Felicity right now.
Perfect. I mean, it's a bright, sunny day. There's wind blowing across the fields. And you just spent a lovely night in a magical paradise with your cute deer girlfriend. So, yeah, Cloud 9 Felicity.
I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it.
I don't think she approaches you, but anyone who's like part of the training, you can see that Aiden is not quite paying attention unless she's like called on. But she's just watching Felicity as she like frolics around and talks to the horse in the barn. And
what's the horse's name?
Max is busy fighting a demon, so they can't tell you. Well, actually, maybe there's like a name tag on the barn. Oh gosh, now I'm gonna try and remember my uncle's horse. What were their names?
We could name them after my horse.
Oh yeah, what was that horse's name?
Huckleberry and Finn.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, there's two horses. One is white with blue eyes.
And spots! That was Huckleberry.
And the other is like a mostly brown horse with like a maybe lighter golden mane. Yeah, there's a bunch of cats like roaming around. So you see a calico at one point. You know, there's like a black cat with white socks and a little ginger tabby. Some of them watch you. Some of them are just like uninterested and will go into the barn looking for mice or little voles or that kind of thing. You're talking to Huckleberry, maybe with a flower in your hair and some like grass in your mouth. Flip-flops kicked off and lying on the fence or sitting on it with your knees swinging in the air. As you do this, Felicity, you hear, "Hey, Felicity?"
Yes?
And you see Ray is approaching you from a few feet away.
Oh, I knew it.
Oh, it's good. Okay. Hi. I did not expect to see you here.
Neither did I. I was heading into town with Brad and Ellie to get some stuff for their truck. Next thing I know, I'm walking down that road. And they turn and point at the dirt road that leads up to the farmhouse.
Oh. That's fun.
It's less fun for me. And they look around at where they are and glance back at the road with a pretty upset look on their face. Shit, I guess I should call them. And they fumble through their pockets and fish out the phone your group had given them.
Are you okay?
They let the phone drop to their side and turn around again, like they feel disoriented. They run a hand through their hair in a frustrated sort of way. They're breathing kind of quickly, and you can see some tears forming at the corner of their eyes.
Oh, what's up? What's going on? Are you okay?
I don't know what's going on. I'm losing time, and it's like I can't get more than a couple miles away from you and your friends before I get snapped back, and I feel trapped and lost.
Hey, listen, my group is pretty magic-y.
Yeah, I know.
We got people who maybe could help you figure this out. I think you should probably stay with us for a little while.
Well, I don't seem to have much of a choice, so...
Is that a bad thing? I mean...
You're nice, but, like, it wasn't my plan to just run from monsters all the time. I like Brad and Ellie, they're nice. They open their phone again and actually call to let Brad and Ellie know, like, God, what would they even say? I think I need Ray to make a manipulate someone check. It's a 6. And they say, "Hey, Brad. Yeah, no, I know. Something came up, so I can't help you pick up that stuff today. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll be there tomorrow, dude. All right, bye.
Ray, hey, listen, you're probably not gonna be there tomorrow.
What else was I gonna tell him? He was pretty upset.
Honestly, I don't know what to say to you. This sucks. Figuring out that you're special and can't live a normal life, it's hard. I know.
Roll manipulate, Felicity. You're not manipulating them, but I want to see what your charm is able to achieve with their emotions right now.
11.
Okay. Ray looks at you and kind of rub at their eyes a little bit. And, well, you tell me, because I have an idea of what they're seeing in Felicity's face, but I'd like to hear it from you instead.
They're seeing a little bit of sadness and, reminiscing about their past. Felicity knows what it's like to be the sad magic girl.
She sure does.
So Felicity knows exactly what Ray is feeling.
Ray can see that you are not telling them it will be okay to be comforting. They see that you have lived through this very strange and very weird struggle and come out on the other side of it changed, but not broken by it. And that's comforting to them. And she stands up and walks over to where you're sitting on the fence. And she says, I'm glad I don't have to do it alone. You want to hang out at this farm, I guess?
Yeah, sure. You can stay with us as long as you need to.
Thanks. Have you had breakfast yet? I could show you the food we were making on the truck.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be great. I haven't eaten since I was in the Haven last night, so...
Oh my god. I'll make you a taco or something.
Oh, nice.
All right. So you guys can go back to the trailer, make a snack.
All right.
Ray has returned, having snapped back to you because of the magical tether that keeps them within protective distance of you. Hello, adventurers. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Storyteller Squad. I know you all must be thinking, when are we gonna get out of Illinois? Maybe one more episode. It's both very surreal and super nostalgic to send the hunters to a fictional version of the farm I spent a lot of summer vacations visiting. Our promo swap friends this week are telling a story inspired by another major part of my childhood, space-themed anime. Bring Your Own Mech is a healthy mix of sci-fi anime and space western using the Lancer game system. The art for this game is incredibly gorgeous, and Reed and the rest of the cast bring their version of the Lancer setting to life with a lot of charm and heart. Let's listen to the trailer.
Passengers, remain calm and please stay in your seats. We are experiencing pirate activity.
Oh, there's just something happening.
What?
Them. Oh no.
At the outer edges of space, where union is but a whisper, humanity scrapes together a living amongst the stars. This is the story of 4 Lancers, talented pilots of mechanized chassis from all corners of the known universe, thrown together by circumstance and destiny. And credits. Follow Matcha, Moxie, Roadkill, and Silver, led by me, Reed, your game master, through the Lancer system, a mud and laser style anime mecha RPG. I hope they brought some printers with them, because this is Bring Your Own Mech, an actual play Lancer podcast, and batteries are not included. Follow my heading, and I'll see you there.
You can find and follow Bring Your Own Mech on Twitter at OwnMech, OWNMECH. They're hard at work preparing for their second season, so you still have a little time to catch up on Season 1 in the interim. Go have some fun amongst the stars. This week, I also wanted to really highlight the Cast Junkie Discord. It's where we've made a lot of our podcasting friends, and it's a great way for podcasters and their fans to connect. We, of course, have our Patreon exclusive Discord, and we're super grateful to the folks who can support us there. But if you can't join the Patreon right now, our channel in the Cast Junkie server is another way you can reach out to talk to us and share what you love about the show. Believe me, I get wanting to support all the indie artists and creators I know about, but it's easy to quickly hit a spending limit or just not have the extra funds to do that sort of thing. That's okay. We're glad you could listen and support us just by doing that. So feel free to come say hi on Cast Junkie. There's an invitation link in the show notes of this episode. Once you're there, I'm sure you'll find more stories just like ours that you'll fall in love with as well. Take care, adventurers. The rest of you out in the training fields, we can say the Damien first round of this is done. Was there other stuff you wanted to have happen?
Oh, I was having a grand old time. I think Raven was going to turn things up a notch.
I was just going to say doing something in the interim, but
yeah,
next round.
Absolutely.
Next round.
It can be something in the interim of the Damien fight. You get a text from Jordan Rivers, and it just says, "Hey man, haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on?"
Text back, I'm currently in Illinois, dealing with some unexpected issues. Hope you and the folks are doing well.
Jordan texts back, currently in Portland, waiting to deal with some unexpected issues.
Yeah, you get a text. It's going for a while, the ... But what you get back is kind of long. But you gather they probably wrote something, deleted it. But they just say, "Well, I'm in Portland, been making some new friends. I guess let me know when you get back in town."
Text back. No, not even text. This is an audio clip that he sends to him. Oh, crap. I am so sorry. I thought you would head back to deal with your grandmother for stuff. Glad you're making some friends, though. I'm not certain when I'm going to be back. We're kind of dealing with some other issues as well.
They say, "Yeah, I kind of like being on my own, or at least out of the house. I'll try and keep a lock on things here on the coast."
Glad to hear it. Sorry again. The next time I see you, though, I have this great story to tell you about this discount Anubis that I met. You're going to love it.
I think they just thumbs up react.
That's fair.
Speaking of discount Anubis, I think it'd be fun if we ask Damien to run through some different people and creatures that we've encountered in our adventures and just kind of go through and turn into a shifter and then kind of coach the kids through a mock fight and be like, if you ever encounter a shifter, they can heal themselves. These are their weaknesses. Don't do this against them. You know what I mean? And then
it's like a PowerPoint, but with animations.
Yeah. And just kind of running through some stuff and then oh, this is a demon and these are some things that you should know about them, and just kind of we keep saying the cliff notes, and we'll just go through a bunch of experiences that we've had. Because I know Piper knows how to do research on stuff, but I'd like to impart some firsthand knowledge that might not be available online.
Sure.
That we've learned.
Okay.
Seeing a 6-foot shifter in real life is a little bit more intimidating than just reading about them.
Yeah. The visual aid, I think, is important.
Yeah, exactly. And it's stuff that they're more likely to come in contact with because it's things that we have encountered while traveling in the United States, and not just the entire internet and entire world's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
You should give Piper either some sort of partial admin access or some sort of privilege on the Watcher that allows you to help them point out okay, I think this is something legitimate that you should pay attention to, and ignore that shit. That's someone writing fan fiction.
I can make them a moderator. That's kind of...
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
She's got some people already kind of doing that. So that's definitely a thing we can do. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, actually promoted to admin. A bunch of people send like party reacts and congratulations! Oh my gosh, I've been following your posts for years. Let's see. Raven, Whitaker, and Damien. Roll me a group charm check. 7 from Damien, 10 for Whitaker.
I rolled a 5.
Oh. I mean, averaged out, that's a mixed success.
It's because can anyone help?
Yes. Well,
can Hugo help?
Hugo makes the PowerPoint more fun.
Hugo did do a lot of research and like gathered a bunch of stuff.
Hugo, go ahead and you can be part of this group check as well. Roll your charm.
Because Hugo's just so charming.
I was about to say, that's the last thing you want to have happen.
Roll charm or roll help out?
This is what I'm saying. Roll charm.
What if he just helps out?
Nope, roll charm.
Jesus. You shouldn't have.
Classic Hugo. It's a 5.
Yeah.
No.
Cool.
Well, mark experience.
Cool. I love it. So Damien, with your 7, you're fine. Totally not offensive. You maybe like in some of the mock fights, you like hit a little harder than you meant to, but the kids give it back to you right away. So they're, they take out their frustrations with you just by sparring with you. Whitaker, you're an adult and you're intimidating and scary as much as, these teens might put up a front of like, I'm not going on a run with you, or I'm going to roll my eyes when you talk at me, old man. But you are still this like 6 foot plus heavy set guy of just like, listen to me when I talk, kids.
With like an array of scars and
yeah. And so they shut up and listen to you. And
cool.
Raven, it's not that you're like going to harm your relationship with these kids by having the 5, and Hugo same. But I think at one point towards the end of this PowerPoint that you're doing with Damien, you might get to, oh gosh, let's see. What's the perfect one? I think you're doing like a talk about red caps, and you have Damien transform into like the 3-tiered visage of Liam, Colin, and Neil. And
nice.
This is more of like a social thing of like, if you see or run into red caps, be aware that they will try and take your blood, blah, blah, blah. And this gets maybe a little talky. And again, it's towards the end. You've been at this all morning. It's maybe even pushed past lunchtime. You haven't taken a break yet, so everyone's a little exhausted.
Are we losing them?
Yeah, you're losing them. And Buck in particular just gets up in the middle of like what you're saying and turns to leave. Doesn't say anything, just like gets up and starts walking away.
Cool.
Max turns around and is like, Buck, where are you going? And he just calls back over his shoulder. He's like, I'm getting some food. We've been at this all fucking morning. And Piper stands up. A little bit of like frustration in her voice too. She's also a little on edge and tired. Buck, we need this. Get back here.
Whitaker goes to follow him.
He spins around before you can get to him, and he says, no, I think maybe you need it. If we needed it way before this. You might be having a fun time with this, Pipes, but some of us want our normal lives back. Mackenzie doesn't know quite what to say, but she stands up and goes over next to Piper.
You think I don't know this is coming too late? I'm the one trying to figure this out for us. I'm sorry about Izzy, okay? You think I'm not?
And Buck just points his axe at the two of them, and he says, we don't talk about her in front of these folks. Now Mackenzie speaks up, and she says, she was our friend, Buck. We miss her too. But if we don't learn, who's next? And he grimaces and just throws his axe into the ground where it embeds and stops shimmering. You two are chasing this, and I'm trying to pull you out of it. At a certain point, I'm not going to follow you. And he turns around to leave.
So I know Whitaker was going to follow him, but Hugo's also going to follow him.
Okay. Piper sheathes her dagger, and the dark cloak disperses and is sucked into the sheath along with it. And she turns to your Raven, trying to hold it together, and says, I'm sorry, I need a minute.
Yeah.
She'll walk off in some direction towards the farm. Mackenzie sits down and opens up the book again. and gives you a sad look, Raven, but she says, I can keep listening if you want.
Oh.
She's the one hungry for knowledge.
Yeah, what do they know?
Which head of the three said that?
All of them.
All of them all at once? Give me it 2 more times and I'll stack them.
Yeah, what do they know? What do they know?
Yeah,
Bunch of
amateurs.
wise guys.
Perfect.
Oh, beautiful.
From here on out, Durs should just play the red cap. Damn, it's pretty good. Natalie's one head, Durs is another.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Raven's just kind of sadly look at Ken's and be like, we probably should break for lunch. We're going to go back to the trailer and like make some lunch for everybody. You can join us if you want, or you can follow Max. But if you catch up to them, if you want to let them know there's food and stuff, we'll take a break.
Okay, yeah. I'll go check on her.
Thank you.
Kenzie will run after her friend. We'll follow Hugo and Whitaker as you guys walk after Buck, who is headed for his car.
You gonna talk to him?
I'll try. It's not going to go well.
I don't think it'd go much better if I did. I've only got so many inspiring speeches in me.
Oh, I have no intent to inspire.
Then you should talk to him.
Come with me, though, because this is going to take some effort. And I will absolutely say the wrong thing.
But you won't hit a kid.
But he won't hit a kid. There's one rule.
You guys can easily enough, like, catch up to him before he gets into his car and drives away.
So, where do you think you're going?
I'm gonna go get lunch.
You know we have stuff here.
Yeah, well, I'm a picky eater.
How picky?
Mostly boils down to the company.
Okay.
Wow.
So you just want to eat alone?
I don't want to eat with you people.
That's fine, you don't have to eat with us, but we got food.
Well, I'm not looking to owe you guys anything.
You wouldn't owe us anything. Why do you think you'd owe us anything? It's food.
You guys are from out of town, huh?
Oh yeah, very far out of town. West Coast, actually.
That makes sense then. We do kind of a favors system around here, so...
That makes sense. A lot better than what I've heard about on the East Coast, though, so... Not bad.
Right, well... And he'll go to move around you.
And I will go to stand in his way. So you staying for food or not?
I told you I was leaving. That can be a problem?
Only if you don't come back. You can walk away as much as you want. This type of stuff follows you. You can walk to the end of the earth. You'll never walk far enough.
Yeah, seems that way.
So then what are you gonna do?
He clenches his fists. He says, only thing I'm good at. I'm gonna bust through or I'm gonna be a wall.
Okay. But what are you gonna bust through? What are you gonna be a wall for? Who are you going to be a wall for?
I think you're smart enough to figure that out.
Oh, no, I'm not. Not by any means.
Ask your friend with the glasses. And he'll go to leave again. You stop him again, or you let him go?
Nope, I stopped him again.
Okay, Hugo. He got a 10 on Kick Some Ass.
Yep, and that's exactly what I was hoping for, honestly.
Gonna bust through. Be a wall and bust through.
Mm-hmm.
You stop him a second time, and he shrugs and is like, fine, man, goes to turn around, but then uses that momentum to come back in an arc and just haymakers you.
Yep.
It will only do 1 harm, because it's just a punch. But your bell gets rung. He will take a couple steps back, glance at you, Whitaker, then glance down at you, Hugo, as you kind of catch yourself. Fuck off, man. I'm going.
Okay. Not bad. Kind of cracks his jaw back in place a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
See you in an hour.
And he will walk over you and get into his car and pull away.
See, I told you it would make more sense for you to talk to him than me. Ah, ow. Ooh.
Well, I was curious to see what you'd do.
Thanks for that.
Was it a good punch? Looked like a good punch.
Oh, it was a solid hit. If my chin was just slightly up a bit more, I'd be unconscious. That was quality.
He's the best fighter in the group. So the problem with him is not that he doesn't know enough, or that he doesn't know how to fight. The problem is that his fucking sister died.
Stuff like that can't be fixed. But it can be properly motivated.
What do you think's going to motivate him from here on out, then?
Probably suffering.
His suffering? Or other people's? Because he looks like he's ready to take any hit.
Physically, probably. The body can only handle so much, and the mind can only handle so much. If it's not him physically or mentally that's getting broken down, it's the people he cares about.
Hugo, do you really think fear of pain and fear of suffering and fear of losing people should be the one thing motivating this child? Do you really want to teach that?
No. That's what he's going to learn if we don't teach him.
You gotta give him something to look forward to, too. You know that, right?
Yeah. That's the tough part.
Yeah, it is.
You know what he needs? A Ferris wheel.
A literal one.
Yep.
After lunch, you're thinking we don't go back to combat? We don't go back to, Raven's incredible PowerPoint presentation skills?
Raven hasn't taught a lot of classes, but she has been in enough that she knows when it's time to take a break. And if anything, she was probably getting close to that point. We may have just gotten a little bit overzealous.
We might have. Yeah.
I guess something we really should ask is, what do they want out of all this?
I think the problem is they don't want to die. And that seems to be, at least in their minds, the biggest motivator right now. Piper might have some actual interest in the world and the things they can glean from it, but I don't know about Buck.
I'm pretty sure the concept of not dying, given he says that he'll either be a wall or such, or break through and everything like that, no, death is not something that motivates him. At least for himself. Deep down, he probably definitely cares about other people.
I'm sure that's why he's so upset.
At a certain level, though, that's something that we can't tell him what to do. If he wants to walk away, then he can absolutely walk away.
Can he?
Yes, he can. He just proved that he can.
But even you said that it would follow him.
Correct. He can walk away. Will that solve his problems? No. And as horrible as it sounds, and while that's not how I want him to learn, that may be the only way to actually learn for him.
Just let things continue chasing him until he realizes he can't escape it?
Sometimes you have to hit bottom.
No, you don't. And that's not something I'd wish for any of these kids. So we tell him that he's not going to walk away from this, so he doesn't have to hit rock bottom.
Okay. How best do we explain that?
I'll try talking to him when he comes back.
Hey, Whitaker. Is this a plan of some sort that we can follow?
It's a plan that Whitaker is going to execute himself. I don't think he can...
Right.
Dang, I tried.
Yeah.
Well, Hugo, if you want to talk to him with me, you can join.
Oh, I'll be there. I'm not going to be the primary person talking to him because we saw how well that goes.
I might value your input. But yeah, I can take lead on the next one.
Okay.
So Raven and Damien are in the trailer getting food for probably sandwiches.
Actually, Damien, you guys were in the field. Ken's had just walked off. Whitaker and Hugo had this conversation. Did you guys go straight to the trailer, or did you clean up or anything beforehand?
Either or. I figure we're going back to the trailer, but if there's still stuff to pick up since we're not going back to combat, then yeah, we can be picking up. That's fine.
I think we can say you guys are headed back towards the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You can see, Raven, that Piper is over on a hammock amongst some low orchard trees. And Mackenzie's just sitting in the grass, leaning on one of the trunks, and they seem to be talking. Felicity, you and Ray are in the trailer already. Ray is just making some very simple soft wrap tacos. Whitaker and Hugo, you guys are in the driveway, talking as Buck's car has already gone and left and driven away. Something about the air on the farm changes. You don't know quite what it is, but you all sense it in different places where you are. We zoom in on Aiden, who is just staring out, peering across the open expanse of the farmland. Something comes barreling out of the cornfield. Multiple limbs, some legs, some arms, but scrambling, dragging, pulling itself towards her, slams her and sends her flying and doubling over, impacting into sod, kicking up dirt and grass. Because it happens in an instant. It just like leaps out of the corn, whips at her, and then she goes flying.
Holy shit.
This creature with large, saucer-shaped red eyes and basically a huge mouth of teeth, some even outside the lips, just poking out, gives out this weird bellow. The arm that struck Aiden withers instantly after it makes the attack, and then cracks off into the ground and just like becomes dust as like more of these little limbs start to grow and creep across the surface of this weird flesh creature. What do you do, hunters?
Holy shit.
Does Felicity want to go first?
Can I cast magic on this monster?
You don't see this, Felicity. Well,
I was gonna say, ironically, in this moment, you missed this being in the trailer.
You are in the trailer, and I think you are maybe like walking out the door of the trailer, and so you can witness this, Felicity. You have like a plate of tacos that you're like ready to set out for people. So you've got this platter of food, and you see this weird abomination burst out of the corn, slap Aiden, I don't know, 10 yards, 30 feet? Like, she goes doubled over multiple times into the grass.
Jesus.
And it gives out this terrible echoing screech. And from within the trailer, you hear another tray clatter to the ground. And if you look back into the kitchen where Ray is, they are gripping their head, and blue smoke is starting to pour from them. And their eyes are going bright white, and they just go, Felicity, something's going wrong.
I'm gonna cast magic. I'm gonna do it. I am going to trap the creature because I don't want to hurt it.
The monster? You're kind of far away, but I'll let you run out if you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna book it on out of there.
Okay, yeah, you, I guess, also toss your tacos to the ground, take off running.
I'll rip all those tacos.
Yeah, if you run towards this creature and don't address Ray, then moments after, there is a blue flash inside the trailer, and passing through its wall, not even out the door, but just like phasing out the door, is the blue flame-headed ghostly form of the defender. And they rush after you and keep pace. And you hear them shout,
Felicity, you shouldn't approach it. It's too dangerous.
Well, I'm gonna anyway.
All right, you fly up, or you are running towards the monster. Go ahead and roll magic.
14!
14?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Holy shit. All right, yeah, how are you trapping this monster?
By trapping it in corn.
Okay, you are having the corn, like, all right.
Yep, you're welcome.
You should crush it. That worked well for you last time.
You reach for the corn, and stalks of it uproot out of the ground and are drawn towards this creature. And basically, you've made this thing the center of gravity for these corn stalks, so they just start to like pile on top of it and weigh it down. And so it sinks into the ground, gives out a roar. Its red eyes lock onto you, Felicity.
I got it! I got it!
All right, Felicity's doing magic again. Great. Damien, light me up. And Whitaker's gonna toss Damien a clip of bullets.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Don't tell me.
I'll tell Natalie it's a 5.
It's a 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all of the bullets explode.
Oh boy.
They all just fall out of the clip and are lost in the grass.
Just like,
I don't want to just repeat the combat of last time, because that was bad enough.
It hurt me, Emery.
I know. Whitaker, you chuck this magazine at Damien, who is just too far away. It lands in the grass somewhere, and you can't find it. So you've emptied your gun. Slips through Damien's fingers because he's distracted by seeing Felicity and the ghostly Ray, who you've never seen before?
Mm-mm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, first time. You're distracted, Damien. So you just see the ghost thing following Felicity and don't get hit in the head with the magazine and it vanishes into the grass.
You're fucking useless.
There was something following Felicity. I don't have time for your bullet nonsense.
Okay. What are people doing?
Raven's gonna pull a card.
Okay, Raven.
So I've been waiting to do it all day and I didn't do it earlier. And I should have. So I got a 10 total.
So a 10 is a success, so you need to roll a d4 to choose the suit, and then a d10 to choose the card in that suit.
D4. That's a 3.
Okay, I think... Air again. You and your wind spirits.
And I rolled a 1 on the d10.
A 1? Raven, you pull the Root Powers of Air card again.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've rolled this before. This feels like a familiar one.
Mm-hmm. You pull the card, it crackles with lightning, and on the, broad sunny day, Thunderbolt strikes, and the storm spirit appears in a crackle of energy around you with its wings outstretched and calls to you and says,
Druid, why have you called upon me?
I need to protect my friends from that. And she points at the pile of corn, presumably with all the limbs wiggling underneath it.
Mm-hmm. And you see their eyes flash with another crackle of energy. They take off into the sky.
It will be done!
They fly up, and they just make a circling flight pattern around this creature, and they give out another cry, and a bolt of lightning shoots out when they flap their wings and strikes the monster. I don't remember how much harm it did to Hugo way back when, but I think it was 3. You hear this horrible screaming that stutters as it cries out as the monster is electrocuted. You see more of these limbs wriggling and trying to pull the corn off of itself. What are people doing now?
I want to charge in there as a horse, but I'm going to need, someone to ride in on top, probably wielding Damocles. I don't know if Whitaker is up for getting in there.
Well, you kind of took away my other option.
Yeah, so I feel like to sort of support your gunlessness, Damien is going to turn into a horse and sort of do the thing where he sweeps under you, and then all of a sudden you're on top of a horse riding, and he gloops up a sword and a pistol for you.
This is character growth, this is character growth, this is character growth. Yeah, Whitaker takes the sword, I guess. I'm gonna ride Damien into battle.
Hell yeah. All right, pink horse Damien, green goopy mane.
Okay, but the pink does clash with the shorts I'm wearing, so this is really not a good look for either of us.
Fine, and Damien just changes the color a bit.
Inverts it? All right, yeah, so green horse, pink gloopy mane.
Fair enough.
Whitaker's wearing shorts?
Yeah, he's in dad clothes.
Either way, you're riding a different watermelon-flavored horse into this fight. However, as you are charging forward on the horse that is Damien, sword drawn, but from within the corn, you see the corn leaves start to shrivel and dry up. Some of them catch fire. And they begin to burn away, and you see getting up out of the dirt is this creature now supporting itself on 2 very beefy arms with 3 legs, 2 in front, a 3rd sticking out the back, just forcing itself up. And its whole body crackles with lightning.
Oh no.
And it gives off a scream.
Interesting.
And lightning shoots out of this creature. It hits the storm spirit, it hits Whitaker and Damien, and it hits Raven. This is 3 damage area.
Fuck.
Spicy.
Can I roll to protect Whitaker?
If you want to.
I mean, it's hitting you too. that'll just be you taking double damage, which maybe at best.
No, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, I mean, it's an area attack. I don't know how you'd protect him, really.
Yeah, it's electricity, too. You can't shield against that.
I'm also holding, like, a lightning rod in my hand.
So you guys can all reduce that however you are able to, but that's some harm you take.
Ouch.
Does it ignore armor?
It certainly wouldn't ignore your battlefield awareness.
Yeah, cool. That we can, yeah.
So. Hugo, Felicity, you guys see this lightning burst out of the monster that it just got a bunch of your friends.
Hugo ran to the barn to go see if he could find the kids and to go and get that axe.
Well, the axe is still planted in the ground where Buck left it, and the other two, Mackenzie and Piper, are now running towards this thing from the orchard where they were sitting in the hammock together. They're going to make it here next round.
Got it.
But if you want that axe...
I'm grabbing that axe because if that kid comes back, he's going to need this.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use an ability, like a passive ability real quick?
Sure.
I have Occam's broadsword. When you first encounter something strange, you may ask the keeper what sort of thing it is, and they will tell you if it or the cause is natural, an unnatural creature, a weird phenomenon, or a person. And then I gain +1 forward dealing with it. But that's not very specific. Is it an unnatural creature or a weird phenomenon? Really, I guess is what it comes down to.
Don't you have the searcher feature that lets you ask a question whenever you see a new type of monster?
Yes, that's more helpful. I knew I had something for when I see something for the first time.
Yeah.
But I recently highlighted Occam's broadsword on my sheet because I always forgot to use it.
Gotcha.
But I do still get an investigate a mystery question because it is a new type of creature.
Yes, you do. Did you just get that for free or do you have to roll for it?
It's completely for free. It's when I first see a new type of creature.
Okay. So then what's your question?
What can hurt it?
Ooh.
Not lightning, apparently.
Check that one off the list.
What can hurt it?
And do I have any kind of like inkling on what the heck this thing is? Any kind of like type of creature?
Well, that would be a different question, right? One of the questions is what sort of creature is it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can change your question to that if you'd rather know that.
No, I was trying to think of like, because what can hurt it is like a hard question for you to answer while also showing us. So I was thinking of like, would I know anything? But
part of the investigative mystery questions is I don't have to give you what you want. I sometimes have to give you what you've earned. This thing just showed up. So like, what can hurt it? Well, maybe not lightning because it just shot that back at you. But that's the only thing aside from corn that you guys have flung at this so far. So like,
not the best question to ask.
You have no idea what this is. And you, the what can hurt it, I think would apply more if you were like researching this after you'd encountered it once and we're like, oh, we need to figure out its weakness, right? That's meant to help you figure out like, oh yeah, garlic is working against vampires and ghosts or, you know, whatever. I mean, what can hurt it? You've got a whole deck of cards that might have powers that would let you hurt this thing. And it's corporeal. It has a form. So, you know, it's not ghostly like the blue flame thing that's coming up behind Felicity as she runs towards it. So I think that's all I can give you.
All right. That's fair.
Since you've seen this thing for all of not even 10 seconds.
I mean, I saw it and then it was covered in corn.
Yeah.
And then it shot us with lightning.
Yep.
A statement I never thought I'd say in my life. All right. Cool. That was not helpful and that's my fault. So moving on.
What are people doing?
Damien has changed his tactics completely. No more charging towards this with the sword. He's still hoarse, but now we're going in the opposite direction. He's grabbing the sword from Whitaker's hand and trying to give him a gun to use instead. We're not going in with a melee weapon against something with an AoE. We're finding a nice safe distance and we're going to take some shots. So he's going to try again to enchant the bullets.
Okay.
Whitaker gives him like a little like pat on the side of the neck. It was a good try. It was a good shot. It was a good idea.
Yeah, who knew he had AoE electricity powers?
Right? No, yeah, you're totally right. We'll go back to what we're good at.
Yep. So hopefully I can enchant this, and maybe Whitaker can help by holding it in place so that it doesn't fall off the side this time. 8's okay.
What's your glitch?
Problematic side effect. All reliable.
And you've enchanted one of Whitaker's guns?
Yes.
Okay, I know what it'll be. I can't say it until it happens, though.
That makes it better, thank you.
Yeah, what's next?
You gonna take the shot, Whitaker?
Yes.
Alright, kick some ass.
Whitaker takes one of the guns, aims, fires. He gets an 11 on the roll.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Could I help that into a 12? Do you have advanced?
I do have kick some ass as an advancement if you want to.
Alright, go ahead and help out. But how are you helping out?
You absolutely shouldn't use a real horse's head to brace the rifle that you're using, because it would be terribly bad for their ears. But when that's not a problem, and when it can sort of help nudge its head a little bit so it's a nice resting point and can actually stand perfectly still, which a horse would also, struggle with.
Yeah.
It's the Furiosa and like Max Rockatansky of like the balancing it on his shoulder, but with a horse instead.
Okay, cool. I like this. Roll help out. See if you help out at all, or if it does something worse.
Oh, please tell me that. Oh, it doesn't. Help out is cool, and cool is 1, and 1 is 6.
Okay, well, this plays perfectly into what I had in mind.
Sorry, buddy, we flew too close to the sun.
Damien, you
Thanks, Damien.
are gripping Whitaker's, I guess it's a rifle, not a handgun then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you take the shot, Whitaker, the barrel glows with these golden sigils that look like abstract circuitry. It fires, and even in midair, after the bright muzzle flash, you can see the bullet grow into a large golden flash of energy, like a streaking blast of light. It hits the creature and rakes its body with this radiant bolt. How much damage does your rifle do?
It's a base of 4 harm for a sniper rifle.
I think we said this is a hunting rifle, though.
Right down a
We could split it right down the middle with a 3. Yeah.
Yeah, let's call it a 3. So, your shot impacts with the monster. It is rocked back despite its powerful limbs, and it screams and turns its attention on the both of you. And out of its mouth, it shoots back this similar bright golden flash.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because, Damien, you're so locked into holding still, and Whitaker's gun is held solidly between your little horse ears, there is no easy way you two are going to escape this harm. 3 harm, radiant, is coming at the both of you.
So, Damien failing to help me, I would still have a full success, though, right? Because -1, it's still a 10.
Yes, you would, and you had an 11. You can pick the bonus effect for a 10 plus on Kick Some Ass.
Yeah.
Take less harm?
I think that is, yeah, I'm gonna take less harm, just so this doesn't knock me full on my fucking ass.
I won't negate your battlefield awareness. You just have to barrel off of Damien. Like, full dismount, just get off of him to avoid taking the full brunt of this.
Yeah.
But I'll say it like catches your leg as you drop to the ground. And that makes you unstable, if I'm not mistaken. Damien?
Yep, that takes me to 6 total harm. I was at 4 total, because I had 2 from fighting the people, and then 3 damage got reduced to 2 on the next one, so that was 4, and then this 3 gets reduced to 2 is total of 6.
Shit.
But I have 2 experience, so that's cool.
Oh, hey, that's helpful if you're alive. Hugo? Raven? What you doing?
Can I do some BS?
Oh,
Absolutely.
God.
Try something.
Please.
More in a reactive sense.
Mm-hmm.
As other people are doing their things, I would like to try to use combat magic to create ice walls to protect them whenever something is going to try to hit them.
Do you want to try and protect them now to reduce some of the harm they just took?
Sure.
I mean, we can roll it back a little bit. Nobody said I want to protect, so I just went with it. But if you want to protect them from that last blast, you can.
Actually, I think I only took 1 harm from that attack, so I'm not unstable yet. It would be tactical awareness and the -1 harm from the full success.
Technically, yes. But, I mean, Damien is in rough shape, so you could absolutely protect Damien. And I mean, harm is harm. You've only got 7 of them that you can take before you're out.
Yeah, just throwing that out there for my notes. Make sure that's on the record.
Yeah, Hugo, go ahead and roll.
Do. With a 10.
All right, what's the bonus you're taking?
We hold the enemy back, because that's all we're doing right now.
Okay. Hugo, your ice wall, you pull it up. All the moisture in the grass around Whitaker and Damien is sucked out of itself to form a wall of ice that will block some of the damage.
Yeah, the ice wall specifically is a 3 armor wall.
Oh, okay. Then, Damien, you can remove the harm you took from that last attack. We'll say it just grazed Whitaker's leg as it was mostly deflected by Hugo's ice wall. I'm going to have Mackenzie and Piper join in at this point. Nice. Mackenzie got a full success. You see her running forward. She has her arm outstretched, and the tattoos on it light up green all the way up her arm. A couple of the trees that are demarcating between cornfield and yard of the property uproot, or their roots at least do, and reach out and lash at this creature, pummel it and beat it down into the ground, similar to Felicity's corn magic, as she's trying to restrain it. And Piper, I think Piper is gonna have Flurry make a magic attack. Well, that's good. That's a 7, at least. They do a similar thing. They draw their dagger, cloak up, take off into the air, gliding on a wind created by their little ermine friend, and then toss the dagger, and it spins and creates this cutting vortex of wind as Flurry has wrapped itself around the dagger. It becomes this wind sickle that slices off one of the creature's appendages. That arm falls to the ground, withers, dries up, and dies. Another tendril cracks itself like a whip, and a similar wind force is sent up at Piper, and it catches her and sort of breaks her flight pattern, and she will come crashing down into the corn.
See, this is the perfect time for Felicity to just lift it up into space.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It's sent back every single attack we've done except Felicity's.
Well, Felicity tried to trap it. You'll notice it didn't send roots after somebody.
Yeah, and that's something.
So trapping might be the way to go. The creature, as it sees Piper go down, its eyes divert away from Whitaker and Damien, and you hear it, Morrigan! And it starts to, or you see it trying to at least claw its way into the corn to go after Max. Mackenzie is straining with her whispered tattoo, trying to keep the roots in place to keep it there.
I would like to try something.
Okay.
First, Raven wants to run up to where Aiden got dashed to the ground and try to help her up.
Mm-hmm.
And just make sure she's okay. Did she take any lightning damage, or did she just get flung?
She got knocked so far away in that first surprise round that she was not near that.
Okay.
She was getting up. She's probably running over to meet you, actually.
Okay.
She's just covered in grass stains and there's dirt in her hair.
Raven's gonna run up to her. It's a demon, right? It's gotta be. I mean, do you think we can banish it?
Yeah, we can try to. I think it's Beelz.
I mean, it has to be. Yeah, I'm just afraid to keep hitting it, or it's gonna keep hitting us back with the same thing. Let's try to get it off of this plane.
Yeah, let's go. All right, you're gonna try to banish a creature?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have Raven try that. I was thinking of maybe trying to make it big magic by having more than one person do it, but I don't know if that quite gets us up to big magic levels.
Banish is just a spell, so you can try it.
All right.
As a summoner, it's kind of the reverse of what you normally do, but...
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can do it, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to... My backup plan is to have told Aiden first, so she might be able to try and help if this doesn't go well.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 10 total.
Okay. There's no glitch then. You just are able to achieve this spell.
Sweet.
What does this look like for you?
Like you said, it is kind of the opposite of what she normally does, but I feel like because of that, she's trying to channel what her normal magic feels like, because this has to work. And so she doesn't want to try and do something new and like totally outside the realm of her normal magic stuff. It's like, what does it feel like when I summon a creature? How do I do that in reverse? And kind of trying to like flip that magic in her brain and do it backwards.
Sure. Are you like reaching out towards this thing, or are you just sort of like closing your eyes and concentrating? What's like the positioning here?
I think she's got like one hand on the cards in her pocket and the other one is reaching out towards the creature and kind of like closing one eye but still not wanting to take her eyes off of the creature but trying to concentrate.
Yeah, sure. The storm spirit banks and its eagle eye catches your vision as you stretch out a hand at this thing. They can pick up on what you're trying to do, and they nod, flap their wings, and go straight up, and lightning begins to etch runes in the ground around the creature, carving a circle around it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Aiden stands beside you, and her wings appear to shield you both from the arcing electricity as your magic scribes the spell circle into the ground. She calls over the crashing of the thunder. I think it's gonna work! And the lightning reaches up and around and forms like a Faraday cage-looking thing around this creature. It screams one more time as like an arm shoots past the lightning, reaching for the corn where Mackenzie is like trying to keep it from getting. And one more bolt shoots down and the monster is gone. And just that arm sort of is severed by the banishment and lands on the ground and shrivels up to dust.
Raven's gonna call out to everyone. I don't trust it. It could come back.
You see the defender in front of Felicity look around. The blue flame disappears and Ray kind of lands down on the ground. This time, awake and conscious. Aiden looks at you, Raven, and says, Beelz is playing a grudge match with these kids.
What did they ever do to her?
Piper comes out of the corn with the dagger, and they say, it wasn't something we did. It was whoever had this last. And we see the camera pan over to the like scorched earth now that has the banishment symbol burned into the grass and dirt.
Oops.
The roots from the trees are just like up in the air, some smoking, some burnt away. Camera plunges into the ground. Down, 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 down. The blasted wind of the place apart, and we just see, in a lightning bolt, the creature appears, screaming in pain, scorch marks of lightning across its flesh. And Azazel standing there, arms folded, Beelzebub with their staff and their many arms and the hooded cloak with the red eyes, and Asmodeus like picking his teeth. Somehow he has a toothpick.
God, what a jerk.
Azazel just looks at Beelzebub and says, again. Beelz points their staff at the creature. Go back. And that's where we'll end our session.
God.
Get ready for demonic ping pong.